Hello, fellow traveler. I have quite the message to deliver tonight. It came in for me in the early hours of the morning, just as the sun was beginning to rise. It woke me out of a deep sleep, and I was in that in-between place where you're aware that you're starting to surface. And I had this vision of this child, a young boy, looked to be about the age of 3 years old. Dark hair, dark eyes that were gentle, kind, and possessed an uncanny depth, a depth I've never seen within a child's eyes before. There was a sense of knowing there and a vastness that gave the quality of creation, creator, deep space, the inception point. I asked this child who he was, and he said, "I am the hermit." And from there, so much information started to tumble into my consciousness. When I receive a vision like this, it's difficult to know if this is a child that is already here or if this is a child that is about to be born, because usually when I receive something in this manner, it's precognition. It's something that is on its way into manifestation, hasn't yet quite taken form. But I did get a lot of specific information about this child so they could be identified. And I have heard that it is essential that this child is protected at all costs because he plays an important role for humanity's future. This child will be a future leader. This child is a bridge. This child has a multi-racial background. And the reason for that is to help us embrace a broad range of perspectives and to recognize the interconnectedness of all of humanity. He is a wayshower for the way forward. And in his future, as a man, he will hold a position of power. He will hold a position like an emperor, but he will lead the future into the golden age, I'm hearing. He is a bit of a golden child. He has that appearance. He has beautiful warmth to his skin. There's a radiance. There's like a glow about him. The energy is really difficult to describe, but just looking in this child's eyes fills one with immense peace and an instant moment of understanding of source as it exists within each one of us. This child is going to be born sometime between July 7th and July 22nd. So they are a Leo, or they are born on the Leo-Virgo cusp. And this child will be very different from other children. And I think that's why I was called to bring this in, because he could be misunderstood. And that could make his path much more challenging than it needs to be. And this is essential because if he is misunderstood, it could compromise his safety and put him in the hands of authorities that would take advantage of the gifts that he holds, distort them, suppress them, This is a child that could very easily get lost in administrative institutions, be marginalized because of how different they are. He will possess an intellect way beyond his years. In fact, this child won't really be social. This is a child that will prefer to spend time to themselves. They study. They study everything with this single-pointed focus. They see worlds within something that appears rather simplistic to others. He sees the complexity within simplicity, and yet he's able to convey the vastness of it with his words in such a manner that it's able to be grasped. The concepts he has to share are able to be grasped even by those who may struggle to understand basic fundamental things. It's something about the way he communicates and shares the knowledge. It's almost like an energetic transference. And people in this child's presence that have felt great suffering in their life, great pain, they will recover the joy that has been lost. They will learn to appreciate the gift of life again. This child will choose to spend time with his elders rather than socialize with other children. And yet he will be a bridge for other children that share similarities to him that are coming into the world at this time to cross into the future. I do feel that when he is a grown man, he will hold a very high rank. He will hold a position like an emperor. He will be a leader, and he's going to bring radical change into the world moving forward. He may be active in the political realm, and yet he's there to completely dismantle everything that we have perceived as the political structure of society. He moves us beyond dualism into a point of unification. And he will be highly sought after by those who just want to spend time in his presence to receive the blessing of his darshan. Darshan is something that can come as a transmission of healing, knowledge, awakening through holding the gaze of one who is an illuminated one. And this is really key. This child has already been named, so I know that though he's not here yet, he is already on the way. And perhaps this is the time frame of the due date for when he is to arrive, sometime between July 7th and July 22nd. His name means the Radiant One. So, before you assume that this is your child, if you're tuning in and you're expecting, please know this is a child that is already named, and their name means the Radiant One, and it's a boy, okay? It is a masculine. He's a masculine, but he's able to embrace both the yin and the yang quality. He shows a strength in softness. He shows immense power in his gentleness. It's palpable. Just his presence. He doesn't need to use any force. Just his presence can take somebody back. This child will have a visceral effect on people. And I do hear that there are those who will want to suppress his gifts because they will fear what they don't understand. And I think that's why this message is coming through, because it's so important that there is protection around this child. This child holds the Hermetic keys. They have an understanding of the core principles of all spiritual belief systems. They transcend all spiritual belief systems. They are the unifying point. This child helps people of all spiritual traditions to better understand the truth of the scriptures they read in a way that they currently don't understand, I'm hearing. He is able to show how all different perspectives have a bridging point. He's here to bring humanity together. He's here to connect humanity with nature again, and to understand that we all hold a piece of the radiance that he has so evidently within us. He's here to awaken the radiance within each and every one of us. And so in that sort of way, you could say that he acts as a catalyst for change. He acts as a catalyst for change. He will teach us how to transform. And he will help us to get back to a place that we forgot long ago when we grew up and we matured in a way that was quite indoctrinated and actually limited the true vision that each of us is supposed to bring forward in the world. He is a Wayshower. He is a Wayshower. This child will be very fond of their grandparents, will want to spend every free moment with his grandparents. And I think that the grandfather in particular will recognize the gifts that this child holds and will be quite protective of the Radiant One. 1313 on the clock. He is the beginning. He is the end. He holds those qualities. You can see the cycles of life expressed in this one. It's quite potent. The energy is really powerful, and it was such an unusual message to come through for me. But when something like this comes through, I know that I need to deliver it. So I do want to get a round of cards on this just to get some details, and I felt really compelled to pull out the Shadow Light Tarot in relation to this, because I do really want to clue into this aspect of the way this child could be suppressed, and that this child needs to be protected because of the important role that they play in the future. And whenever a light bearer comes into the world, there's always those who seek to harvest that light. So I think that is something that many people who have spiritual awareness are already tapped into, that that is something that is very common. And this needs to be understood on a whole other level, though. This child like breaks the mold. It's not like a typical indigo child. This is like so beyond that. It's so beyond that. Okay, it really is a significant child that is going to be paving the way into the future and will be a very, very powerful leader, but will lead with heart, can hold the power wisely, and holds quite the amazing repertoire of gifts. There's something about their speech and the way they talk, even at a very young age. There's also something about his face, even right after he's born in the delivery room. He will look like a little old wise man. He is the hermit. He has the light that is the lantern. He is the wayshower for the road forward into the Aquarian Age. So let's see what we got here. And he is bringing the global collective together. He is the foundation for the future. And what he holds within his being is a treasure. He houses all the treasures of heaven and he's bringing them onto earth. And that is why he must be protected. He must be protected. There could be well-meaning family members that will feel that maybe this child needs some kind of assistance. They might feel like this child is, I'm hearing autistic. He's not autistic. He just has pattern recognition, a storehouse of knowledge, an acute sensitivity, and awareness of things that fly above the heads of most who are wise beyond his years, according to outside appearances. I think the grandfather is so key for this child, but this is important for this message to get through because the other family members need to be careful about getting this child into institutional programs where he could be indoctrinated or put on medication or fall into the hands of those who would try to sever his gifts from ever reaching humanity. Okay. I think he's being born into a family that is quite traditional in their values and their perspective. They may be conservative. And this child really breaks the mold of what is seen as traditional. And so this may be something that causes alarm. He may also bear some kind of distinct gifts right out the gate that might frighten those who misunderstand who he is and the role he plays. I feel like this child will be able to predict many things. It will become quite evident early on that something is unusual about this child. And I think that's where the danger lies, because there could be the desire to control what is not understood. People could fear. They could fear the power that this child holds. I do feel like he will predict many things. He will predict many things to come. He is the promise on the other side of the storm. He's like an angel incarnated here on earth to bring temperance, balance, healing, and return us back to the source of our true belonging. that we forgot long ago. And I'm hearing that there's a lot of distortion and misunderstanding, even within all of the spiritual belief systems in the world. There's pieces, gaps in information that is preventing a true synergy of really embodying what is meant in all of those ancient texts. And he's going to bridge that gap. He's going to teach us. He may be a child, but he will teach us. You know, it is said in one particular religious text that a child will lead them all. Okay, this young one will show those well advanced in years a new way of seeing the world. And that's why this child will show us how to get to that distant shore. Reminds me of the dream I had long ago about humanity standing on the shore, about to enter the sea, and having a sense of trepidation about making the swim because of the dangers that are in the sea. The sea is vast. There's predators in the sea, and there's no distant shore in sight, just an understanding that humanity has to find their way across this ocean together as one collective pod. And yet, one by one, we started to enter into the water together. And we started to swim together. And we found the water a lot more hospitable than we were expecting. We actually were really enjoying swimming together as one great pod. And as we were swimming through the ocean to a shore we couldn't see, we actually found the way rather easygoing, and Otter was weaving in between us. Otter is the medicine of medicine woman. And I do feel, this is kind of interesting, I do feel that this child, when this child comes through, this child's birth will automatically awaken the mother to her medicine, to her gifts. This is a child being born to a medicine woman, but I have the impression that this woman does not realize that she holds this empowerment. It's almost like the birth itself is an initiation into holding this medicine. And this is the child that's going to get us to that distant shore. It's symbolic, you know. The sea is symbolic. It's symbolic of the collective consciousness. It's also symbolic of the mother's womb. And we're all being held in this space. It's like this child's birth will be the rebirth of humanity. It's really a lofty vision. And I know it sounds really out there, but so did that dream I had back in 2020 about us swimming like a great collective pod to a distant shore. And I just know that this message is building off of that one. So I'm delivering the message because it seems like it's quite significant. This child will change our perspective about everything, the way we see the world. They will completely disrupt our belief systems. I do feel like this child has a catalytic kind of energy. They stir us, they shake us up, they make us question everything we perceived up until now. This will gain momentum the older this child gets, because once this child is a man, then people will be more willing to hear him out, you know. But I do feel that even as a young one, those close to him will recognize that there's something going on here that they have no rational explanation for. And I do feel that others will start to be drawn to this child. I also feel that there's something coming through about different spiritual leaders being drawn to this child. And this is something that also needs to be in the awareness of his parents and his family, those who watch over him, because there can be corruption there. All right, this is important. Just because somebody has an outer presentation of being a holy person does not mean that they are. There is going to be more of this in the future. There's going to be more false prophets in the future. There's going to be more leaders within organized religion that will be revealed for who they truly are. This is a great time of unveiling and awakening that we are moving through. And that's why it's so important that this child is protected. Anything else that you want us to know? I do feel like this child is about to be born. I feel like this child is coming through that energy that's opening up with the Lion's Gate, okay? I think that's why there's that time frame. The mother could go into labor on the 7th, right? The child could be born on Lion's Gate. This child is lion-hearted. I'm hearing very courageous. This is another quality this child has. They will always stand up for the underdog. They will always stand up for those that they feel are being bullied or are in a compromised position. They will even stand up to adults, even as a little one, even at the age of 3. This is a child who will call out their elders, who will school their elders, who will give them a stern talking to, and yet will deliver it with such fiery compassion, it can't be ignored. This child will have people transforming their lives. This child will have the elders around him going into recovery, releasing their unhealthy behaviors, healing strained relationships, righting wrongs before their time is up. And yet I'm hearing you cannot attach this child to any one single spiritual dogma. This child transcends all of that. All of that. All of that. So before you label this child the return of the Messiah, that's not what this is. That's not what this is. This is something we've never seen before. That's what I'm hearing. This is something we've never seen before. And I do feel that he will usher in a time of change when more children will be born that will have a certain seed knowledge, I'm hearing, that is meant to be shared with humanity to help us transform what currently has us on a path of destruction, so we can get beyond our polarization and find a way to reconnect. And not all will be able to pass that test. I feel there will be many who will be left behind because they will not be able to override the programming of what we have come to call the Frotis here on this channel, the agenda that has been rolled out by those in a position of power. And so you have to understand, when one comes into the world that really disrupts that kind of stronghold, there is a target on that. And I feel like those who are tapped in, and with this I am getting more of a level of kind of secret society stuff, you know, Those who are tapped in on that level, yeah, the deceivers, they want to cut this off. They will be aware of this. This is why I feel like, especially around, I keep picking up institutionalization, okay? Some of the things this child says really may concern their elders, just feeling like maybe something's mentally not okay with my child. They shouldn't have this information. Like, people really do fear what they don't understand. I'm really concerned about this, like putting the child in some kind of special program or getting this child on medication or something like this, because I do feel like there will be efforts to suppress what this child has to say. And that's why this is coming through. So this child is not impeded in leading others forward, because if this child is impeded, it hinders all of humanity. But I think that we'll be able to preserve the treasure here. I don't think it will be lost. And I think the mother plays a great role in this, because her gifts that have been hidden up till now will really be revealed to her. I feel like the mother will have an understanding once she gives birth. I think that she will keep a lid on it, though. I think she's going to keep it to herself, because she will understand that it's really going to disrupt the foundation of her very traditional family, okay? Let me do a cut of the deck, because I feel like this is the message, and I know that this is not for everyone, and yet it is for everyone. You know what I mean? It's like, this is for somebody who's going to tune in. I do feel like there is somebody that will receive this message, that is expecting, that has already named their child a name that means the radiant one. Maybe you sense that you are expecting a boy, or maybe you already had a test. Maybe you already wanted to find out what you were having, or am I having a boy or a girl? This is absolutely a masculine, and yet it's a masculine. It is very balanced. He is able to be in his heart, able to be expressive, able to be in his softness. He has achieved already, even before birth, that conjuncto, that sacred marriage within the self. Both parts of him are unified and whole, and that's why he's going to be the way through. He's going to be the way through that is able to part the sea, to give safe passage for many. This almost gives me like, it almost looks like a butterfly to me. This looks like a butterfly to me. Yes, he brings transformation. Father could have a strong air sign placement. Rising, moon, it's on this side. So, there are those that will want to cloak this young one's light, because they come in and open the road that leads us forward on the journey back into our radiance. So we need to be aware of this. And there might be a need to cloak the brightness of this child in order to keep them safe from those who would like to prevent the activation of his purpose and waste the dawn. Pretty powerful message. I do want to get one overarching theme. Look at that. Purity, the child, the boy. He forges the road forward. He will be born in Leo season. The sun is strong in this one. He knows the way to the top of the mountain. His energy is very pure, very pure-hearted. He's unable to be corrupted by worldly things. That's what I hear. He will not be corrupted by worldly things. His heart is very pure. But that's what makes him so threatening. That's what makes him so threatening. And there will be people that say that there's something wrong with this child, and yet there's not. His gifts should be cultivated. I think that the mother will do a fine job of this, because I feel like her gifts are being activated through the birth. So just really needed to pass this on. And sometimes, I don't even know how to deliver a message, but this was just coming in so intensely strong that I knew it had to be delivered. And it's impending. It's like it's almost here. His arrival is almost here. And he's already been named. Okay, so this is not for somebody that is expecting to go into delivery sometime in that time frame I laid out there, who hasn't named their child yet. This child is already named. I keep hearing that like very distinctly. This child has already been named, and their name means specifically the radiant one. Okay. Any further details you want to bring through? I might get an Archangel card too on this. Let's go ahead and get the Archangel cards out here on this too. We'll get one of these and we'll get an Archangel card. Let me get this medicine card here for the mother, okay? Because I do feel like she is going to be awakening to her gifts through this birth. She's going to realize that she is a medicine holder, okay? And there might be some need for her to cloak this too, protect this as well. Protect her gifts as well, okay? Right. Basis of the matter. Wow, yeah, purification. Purification, cat's claw protects from those who would cause harm. It's known to secure boundaries, especially around households, okay? So there is something here about needing to have like protective energy around the household, and especially as it comes into the awareness of different family members, because what can often happen is if you realize that your child is gifted or special in some way, you may want to go out and you may want to share this with everybody. You may want to talk about it. And nowadays in modern age, what do you see so many parents do? They expose their children on social media. This would be disastrous. Like, no, this child needs to be protected, because there are unknown forces that can't be seen, that are in the dark, that could negatively impact the safety of this household, of this child. It could bring a tower. So this household needs to really protect this child, and also protect the peace of the home. I do think it's important for this child to have a very peaceful environment. There may be a particular family member that needs to be kept in the dark about this gift that this child holds, so that they can fulfill their purpose. Do you see? Keep that gift, that magic, all these hermetic keys that this child holds. This child comes in just such a radiant being, so balanced, all of their chakras completely balanced. They are a balance of the solar and the lunar energy. And see, this is a matter of purpose activation. We got new moon energy here, so this child could come in around the new moon in Leo on the 12th. That is possible. And look, they come in with that energy signature of the Hermit, also coming in with the Hierophant and the Emperor. This child will grow to be a man in a very strong position of power. But this is a very tender time, and this must be protected. This must be protected. Don't let this leak out to greater public awareness. It's really important. This child has strength. This child has strength for the journey ahead. And I do feel like his journey is a tough one, but he does have the endurance for the road that he is about to forge. He can go the distance, and he holds a lot of power. A lot of power. This child could also have a strong Sagittarius placement. You see, look at this. Motherwort. Look, the Leo energy is already coming in. Do you see? It activates the mother's gifts. It moves her into her strength and her empowerment. Coming in with the number 13. It's like a rebirthing energy for her of what she holds. Rebirth of Venus energy. It's like she's the embodiment of Venus. Maybe the mother has a strong Taurus or Libra placement. That's possible. Her heart is really opening right now. I also feel like there could be something about this mother that she may be quite advanced in age to be giving birth. I think she's had to spend a lot of time during her pregnancy staying really calm. There could be like a rose quartz connection. She may be really drawn to rose quartz, or she may have been gifted rose quartz, something that she received to help her stay really calm. This mother may have dealt with a lot of harshness coming. I'm getting from a particular family member, and so it's really essential for her to stay calm, to stay very calm. This mother could be doing a water birth too. She may be working with a doula, a midwife here. She may not be having a traditional birth, okay? May even awaken her to her medicine as a doula. She might decide to get into that kind of work as a direct result of giving birth. It's interesting. It's almost like the child and the mother, their destinies are really entwined as far as the purpose that they are meant to serve moving forward here. It's really beautiful energy. And again, the North Node activation, it comes in with the new moon. So I think there's something here really solidifying by that Leo new moon in relation to this. This child will give this mother tremendous strength. There may have been concern about giving birth to this child because I do feel like this is an older mother. And so there may have been concern about, just a safe delivery. And yet I feel like already this mother is protected by this child that is coming through her. Really beautiful. Really beautiful. It's quite powerful. Look at this. He holds the fire. She also holds a lot of water. There's a lot of harmony here. And there is protection. Again, there's the scales of Libra. So there is some real strong Venusian Libran energy coming through here. All right, so the mother could have a really strong Libra placement. Really strong Libra placement here. Coming in so powerfully with the charge of Venus. And there's absolute protection here with dragon's blood. There's deep roots here too. There's deep-rooted knowledge that is coming through. I feel like records are opening up through the birth of the child and what the child holds, but also within the mother as well. It's like the world's soul speaks through this child. And this is the beginning of a new vision forward. And with that, we have the energy of Pluto and Lilith. So it's fascinating to me because it's almost giving me the impression of this mother may be really close to her crone years. And yet here she is giving birth to quite a powerful being who will grow up to be a powerful man. Ooh, okay. Let me go ahead and get an Archangel card on this. This is not what I was expecting to bring in tonight. I was going to bring in the much awaited Cancer Solar Return Quest read. I will bring that in tomorrow. Interestingly enough, Cancer is the sign of the mother, so maybe it's appropriate that it's coming in this order. Okay. The mother can have a strong Cancer placement. I do have Cancerian energy coming in relation to this. There's been some Sagittarius energy that's come in relation to this as well. I have the blessings of the transit of Jupiter as it moved through Cancer, coming to fruition through this child. It's almost like the child brings the rebirth of Venus, like the return of Venus, brings about that balancing of energies. It's not about a patriarchy, and it's also not about a matriarchy either. It's about the balance. It's about the balance, the value of both, the understanding that the masculine is the avenue, is the way through, and the feminine is the creative force that expresses itself through that avenue. Again, there's something about this child holds the Hermetic keys and will teach people about alchemy, true alchemy, and that we all have this ability to create, that we all hold a piece of that divinity within us. It's very, very interesting energy. We do have Yarrow here coming in. And Yarrow is also quite protective. I feel like another indication in relation to this child is this child has memory from a very young age. Memory of life before he came into this earthly realm. Also, memory of things that have happened throughout history. Okay. Yarrow is also used for protection. It can be used to ward from malevolent forces. So again, there is a need to protect this child. There's so much grace that comes in with this child. And with this, we have 10 of Gabriel coming out as you navigate this territory, because I do feel it is kind of like moving into the unknown once this child comes in. I just feel like this is something that immediately there's something evident to all of the family that this child is different. And this card is advising that you ask your angels for helpful people to help you navigate as you're moving through the challenges of having such a special soul within your family. And also, you may need to lighten your load a little bit. I think the mother is going to need to lighten her load even after she recovers from giving birth. She's going to need to have more time to be really close to the child. So I don't know if initially there were plans that after the mother recovered after maternity leave, that she was going to go right back to work, but there may be something about needing to figure out a solution that can allow the mother to have more time and closeness with the child. That initial bonding is going to be really important here. Yes. And there's something here, it keeps coming in about some meddlesome family member that there's already been issues with, that there does need to be certain boundaries put in place. I think in the past there was too much acquiescing or appealing to this family member, but once this child is born, it's essential that there's good boundaries in place around this. So nothing can prevent reaching that distant shore. And this is what will really allow a prosperous way forward, and for this child to really grow into the fullness of his purpose. Okay? And take your time as you integrate this experience for whoever is giving birth to the son, whoever is the family that this child is being born into. Take it one step at a time. And where there was concern about this birth, because I do feel there's been worry about this because of the mother's age, don't worry, the birth is going to go about seamlessly. Okay, it's going to be better than expected. Better than expected, right? This child could really be fascinated with nautical things too. They might really be fascinated with ships, and specifically historical ships. There's something about, they're wanting to bring through like little identifying factors so that as the child gets older, this can sort of solidify your understanding that, okay, this is my child. But I think naming your child a name that means the radiant one is already a pretty major clue. Okay, look at this. The world. This child will transform the world. And Archangel Michael is on the scene as a protector to this child. There's going to be a very happy outcome here. Things are coming full circle. And this child will grow into their full spiritual growth and not lose any of the insight that they're meant to impart upon others. And with 5 of Raphael, okay, I feel like there's something here. It kind of comes through as a bit of tragedy intermingled with blessing. There could have been something around pregnancy and something that was lost. It could have been the falling out with a particular family member or something that was a real disappointment. There could have been somebody that passed away, maybe wasn't ever able to see the birth of this child. Just know that everything happens for a reason. And where you are feeling any kind of regrets or sorrow around that, just understand that there is a purpose. There's a purpose to why it needed to go like that, okay? I do feel like there's a little bit of that here. This like blessing comes in on the other side of tragedy. Maybe even as you've been integrating some really heavy stuff, maybe that's why you've had to be so careful during pregnancy as well, because you were navigating some kind of grief, some kind of stress related to a loss. But this child will help you find the silver lining that's been missing for a while. And I do feel like they bring a lot of healing to your heart. A lot of healing to your heart. Okay? So, rest, prepare. It's going to be a safe delivery. Everything's going to work out as planned. And just know you have Archangel Michael here helping you go through this potent time, and that you are about to give birth to a son that's going to be foundational for helping the world transform. Really powerful. And they will be successful. They will be successful. Godspeed.